Now let's get going, folks, and we begin here today like we do every day on Men's Ed Mornings with something that's really grinding my gears. Yes, folks, it's time for the Scrawler Scripture. Some people just have no class, common sense, or even basic manners, but that does not mean their right to legally protest should be revoked. In fact, to do so, in essence, can actually make their message heard by even more. The Scripture today actually falls into the category of something that would normally really upset David, the Menzoid Menzies. I know if he were on shift here today, he would do his monologue on this because, say what you want about Menzoid, one of the things he cherishes the most is every person's freedom to say what they think. It seems in this country, however, some are more free to express their views than others. Case in point, what happened Wednesday in Toronto. It seems some people decided to take a very public and provocative stand against an Islamic writer's view that there are cases where it is okay for a husband to strike or discipline his wife. In fact, outside the Liberal Party of Ontario's main office, a small group protested Ontario Minister of Labour Yasser Naqvi's endorsement of an Islamic book in which they say, in accordance with the Quran, recommended wife beating as a tool for solving families' problems, if you can imagine. And they did this protest creatively. As one witness described, it was a man dressed up as an imam pretending to beat his wife, who was dressed in a full Muslim niqab. There was some laughter, but not everybody was amused. It seemed disrespectful, but is it illegal? There were some very hurt feelings and police were called. Today at a protest, somebody was arrested for mocking Islam, said a witness. He described protesters waving around signs that said the following: beat wife only for honor and discipline, Holy Quran 434. And that those that deny Islam will be killed, Holy Quran 3316. And expose jihad with free speech or die. Listen, they went looking for trouble and they found it. One of the people behind this to stir up this mess is the notorious Eric Brazeau. He's the guy who landed himself in the slammer for standing outside slain Constable Ryan Russell's funeral with a sign amongst a few things that it said. One said, "No police state." It didn't go over well. Now that was crass, but this may have taken things to a new level of outrageous. Said one witness, using a microphone, he gave a mock Muslim sermon, assisted by the veiled woman. He was praising Canada as a place where you can beat your wife with impunity. Reading from sheets of paper, he also counted the benefits that you would get here as a religious fanatic. It was a satirical performance. In the end, though, he was arrested and charged with a number of offenses, including threatening charges, breaching of bail, and assault with a weapon. He's also on court orders to stay away from this kind of thing because he had other incidences with Muslims. None of the charges have been tested in court, and neither has Brazeau's defense, and the court is probably the right place to decide this. But the bigger question is, why are so many people being arrested in Toronto for expressing their points of view on sidewalks or in public places? We saw 1,100 people arrested and strip searched and detained and shackled and all that during the G20 for no real reason. And citizen journalist and anti-establishment advocate Derek Sobral is calling me every week where he's been arrested by police, and they seem to drop the charges all the time when they go to court. Folks, you know what? One of these things where people call a racist, that kind of thing. The excuse that they make, this is about the Ezra Levant thing. Ezra Levant had a crowd come down here, and the police asked him to leave, and they said that Ezra had to leave because he was inciting the crowd. And, you know, Menzoid himself knows this firsthand. He was assaulted, in essence, by a woman wearing a hijab. And when he took it to the police, they blamed him and they didn't take him seriously. It seems sometimes the police become the politically correct police, and there's a double standard there. There seems to be, you know, no common sense when it comes to these things and calming things down. Perhaps this was what was behind this strange set of circumstances, the double standard, this strange anti-Islamic violence, submission of women protest. But why are the police getting in the middle of all these things? Why not just keep the peace, ignore it, let them unfold, de-escalate rather than escalate? A person is free to act like an idiot as long as they are on public property and are not breaking hate laws or anything in the criminal code. This is certainly how Cara Faith Zweibel, the director of the Fundamental Freedoms Program at the Canadian Civil Liberties Association, feels things should be done. In Canada, our Constitution protects the right to express ourselves and to peacefully assemble. You know, it's well said. And that's today's Scrawler Scripture.